All right, we're going to pick up on number 21. On 21, we're going to start off with the fact that this is in an L shape. And we know an L shape has a measure of 90 degrees. So these two angles both add up to 90 degrees. So if we know those two add up to 90, we can subtract here 90 minus 50. And we know this missing degree measure is 40 degrees. We're going to put 40 degrees for X, okay? All right, now for Y, it's a little different. I'm going to show you this. Y is made up of all of this, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and shade that portion in. And then we're going to talk about what we know. So since Y is made up of all of that, I know this portion is 40, and I know this shape is a 90-degree angle. So this must be 90 degrees. So if I take 40 degrees, add it to 90 degrees, it will give me the value of Y. So the value of Y is 130 degrees. Okay, let's take a look at 22. 22, I'm going to put a dot here for my vertex. If I go directly across from 55, it puts me at Y. Angles that are directly across from each other are known as vertical angles, and vertical angles have the same measure, so they are equal. So it's very easy to tell that Y is 55 degrees. Let's go ahead and get that one out of the way. Okay. All right, so I know Y is 55 degrees, and I'm going to do one other thing. I see a straight line here. So here I see a straight line. And if I go underneath, it makes a semicircle. Okay. So Z, where you see Z and Y, both of these, this angle and that angle, add up to 180 degrees. They are what we call supplementary. Well, if angle 2 is 55, what does that leave for angle 1 or Z? So you just take 180 and subtract 55. We're going to regroup here, and that will give us Z being a measure of 125 degrees. Okay. Now, I'm going to work on the top part of the line, but I'm going to do this in green. Here's the line. Here's the top part of the line, and all together that makes another semicircle. It's just a semicircle on the top. But we know a semicircle is 180 degrees as well. So all of this stuff in green, all three of these angles, angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3, all equal 180. Well, what do you know about angle 1 and angle 2? Together, they make 155 degrees. So if you want to figure out angle 3, you can simply take 180 and subtract 155. So that leaves the measure of X to be 25 degrees. Okay? If you have any questions, just pause the video and ask me. Or ask me tomorrow. I may not be in here today. All right, let's take a look at 23. 23, the easiest thing to do with 23 is this portion here, because I see an L shape. And an L shape is automatically a 90-degree angle. So these two make 90 degrees. So to figure out x, I just take 90 and subtract 80, and I can tell you x is 10 degrees. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and draw a line, straight line, and on that straight line sits this semicircle. Okay, so all of this together makes 180 degrees. Okay, I'm going to call this angle 1, and this is angle 2. So angle 1 and angle 2 make 180. So if this is 80 degrees, all I have to do here is 180 minus 80, and I can tell you that the measure of angle Z is 100 degrees. Now I'm going to erase my stuff for a minute because I don't want to confuse anybody. So go ahead and write this down if you haven't. I'll pause the video and write it down. And I'm going to erase this portion here. I'm going to start over because I still have to figure out the measure of angle Y. However, I'm going to put that x is 10 degrees. So I'm going to draw another line, but instead of going to the right side of the line, I'm going to go to the left side, kind of underneath it. But they still sit inside of a semicircle, which means they're supplementary. So this angle is supplementary to that angle. In other words, they add up to 180. So to figure out this portion here, all I have to do is take 180 and subtract 10. And so I know that the measure of angle Y, well, Y is 170 degrees. Okay, let's take a look at 24. Here's a line. There we go. And on this line is a semicircle. So that means that this angle plus that angle equal 180. So if I want to figure out just this one, from here to here, I need to do 180 minus 94. We're going to regroup, and we get 86 degrees. So Y is 86 degrees. Okay? All right, now I'm going to figure out the measure of angle Z. I'm going to erase some stuff. So angle Z is pretty simple. Angle Z, excuse me, not angle Z, but this angle. This angle right in here has a measure of altogether 135 degrees. However, that large angle is made up of this angle and that angle, okay? So these two together make 135. So to figure out x, you just do 135 minus 94. And that gives you a degree measure of 41 degrees. So x is 41 degrees. And then all I have to do now is figure out z, which is pretty simple. So to figure out z, I'm going to do this in blue. Here is a straight line. I said blue. Alright, here's a straight line. And if I go underneath, there's a semicircle, guys. But we know the value of x. The value of x is 41 degrees. But all of this equals 100. All of this equals 180. So if I wanted to figure out, if I knew that this is 41 degrees, but all of this is 180, all I have to do is 180 minus 41, 7 10, that becomes 9. It's 139 degrees for Z. Okay. All right, let's move on to finding the value of X and the missing angle measure. Okay, I'm just gonna help you set these up, and you're gonna have to do these on your own, okay? So, I know that this is an L shape. An L shape means that these two angles here are complementary to each other. So what you're gonna be doing is combining like terms. You will please do this on notebook paper. Not enough room to do this on here. So you're gonna take what's in angle 1, which is 5x plus 4. You're gonna add it to what's in angle 2, which is 2x plus 2. And you're gonna set it equal to 90. And then you're gonna combine like terms. So you're gonna combine term 1 with term 2, making that 7x. You're gonna combine term 2 with term 4, making that 6. And then you're gonna solve the two-step equation by making a zero pair and then dividing. Guys, once you find X, put it here, but you have to plug back in to find the angle measures. Okay, so that's something I want you all to do. All right, so I didn't finish 25. I'm not gonna finish 26, but I will say these two sit on a straight line and they sit inside of a semicircle. So you're gonna take what's in angle 1, which is 2x plus 16. You're gonna add it to what's in angle 2, which is 124. And you're gonna set it equal to 180. And then you're gonna be combining like terms. You're gonna combine term 2 with term 3. So that will give you 2x plus 140 equals to 180. And then at this point, you can zero out the 140. Find X and then plug back in to find the angle measures. On 27, these two are vertical, which means they're equal to each other. So you just set them equal to each other and solve for X. Plug back in and find the angle measure. Again, I'm not finishing the problems with you. I'm getting you started. It is your responsibility to do 29, 30, and 31 on your own. I will tell you that these are vertical. They're equal to each other. I will tell you that you need to add these up and set it equal to 90 on 30. And on 31, I will tell you you need to combine like terms and set it equal to 180. And you are going to be able to work with somebody during this. All right, you're going to skip 32, 33, and 34. And when you get to 35 through 37, it says determine if the following side lengths form a triangle. Make sure you show the work and write yes or no. I won't prove. So you have to remember that if the short side plus the short side is greater than the long side, yes, it will form a triangle. When you get to 38 through 40, it says determine the possible side lengths for the third side. So if you want the third side, all you have to do is make sure you give me a range. So X is going to fall between 4 here and 14. Well, how did I get the 4? 9 minus 5. How did I get the 14? 9 plus 5. This is the type of answer I'm looking for on 39 and 40. All right, it's your responsibility to finish. Once you finish, guys, you're going to work on your already assignment and sit quietly. Thank you.